Now, when Jeezy announced that he's going to release that Thug Motivation 104, my first thought process around it was, and? Like, it's the equivalency to when Call of Duty decided to announce they doing Black Ops 4. There was only one good one, and the rest of it is not synonymous with quality. So how could I get excited for something of that magnitude? Now, I was a bit excited though when Jeezy started releasing new stuff, because his last project was a classic. If you don't feel as though the Pressure album was a classic, you probably still got a lot of respect for Tekashi 6ix9ine right now. But sadly, this TM104 is like following some Louis the 13th with just a raw shot of E&J. As this is Jeezy's 9th album and his final album under Def Jam, and he's saying that this is his last Thug Motivation as well, saying that, you know, I always had the intention of making 4 of these, which 4 is an odd number for him to say that that's as many as he wanted to do with this, but whatever. But in his promotional interviews, it kind of came off as this is his grand finale, but yet when you listen to the album, this is more of him going through the motions just to get out of his record deal. Because here's the thing, you don't get out of a relationship if the relationship is going good. Like, have you ever gone to your woman like, yo, you complete me, without you I would be nothing, you listening to me, we keep pushing towards something great, so therefore I'm going to end this relationship right now so that we can end it on a good note. Clearly, with it coming to an end, there had to be some issues, whether it being Jeezy's not selling like he needed to be, whether it's Def Jam not promoting like they need to be, either or it's not working for both parties involved, so they're walking away, and this being his last album, he's just going ahead through with the motions. He really doesn't care for a grand finale or anything like that. He's just gonna move on with his career doing his own thing. But it is what it is. As you begin to look at a bunch of these songs, he's doing the same kinds of things that he's been doing for the last few albums, like a bunch of somewhat dedication songs to other MCs who were legends at one point in time. Like, take that All Night song where that's him channeling his inner Juvenile with the Juvenile flow. Take that One Time song where that's him on the Dynasty sample that he got there. Take that Foreplay track where I've said it consistently over his career, he still is not doing well with his female-driven type songs, you dig? But many people are going to equate that music to what Pretty Ricky did, you dig? But honestly, that sample from what Pretty Ricky did came from the Isley Brothers, so this is Inception, a sample within a sample. And then you got Fake Love, where again, another sample, a commonly used one that everyone knows. But on top of it, the main thing I want to talk about is this could possibly be his retaliation to Freddie Gibbs at last, where Freddie Gibbs been talking about him like a couple albums ago, but yet Jeezy never came out and said anything at all. But we can't even be all the way certain with it because he's not being specific, he's not naming names, he's not naming specific things that anybody would know outside of anybody who's involved. So we can't be clear about it, but it seems to me that this could be a Freddie Gibbs diss, and it's not a great one. To be real with you, there's only 2 songs off this project that I really enjoyed, and only one of them is what I'm really going to keep, and that being Don't Make Me, as that's my absolute favorite song produced by the Justice League, some fire producers, as this is clearly the best beat off the entire project, where there's no core concept, you did, just a basic premise of going around trap talk, but it's really that energy that you come to expect from a Young Jeezy project, and I'm glad he gave us one of them. And the only other song that interests me would be The Real MVP, where this is the final song. I wish the drums would have finally came in, but this was more of his dedication to his mother, as he's channeling the Kevin Durant MVP speech that he gave, and he's flipping it in his own right, where, you know, Kevin Durant's MVP speech was talking about his mom and how he loved her for everything that she sacrificed for him. Jeezy is flipping it like, okay, I had to come up in the drug game and my mom really didn't like all of that, but yet how she raised me, I was able to survive this whole game where you can get murdered at any time. So she really is the one who paid me to being who I am. Like, I like that dynamic of what he's doing on there. It's just there's a little bit more to actually want from this track, but it's cool nonetheless. And as you know, I always like to break down my favorite bars off of these projects, man. And of course, this is being drug heavy. And you know, some people are going to tell you, you know, the Thug Motivation series is all about drug trafficking and all of that stuff, so it's not out of the ordinary that he would have nothing but drug trafficking bars all the way through. But let's look at his entire career. This is all he's done with the exception of the Recession album. But my thing is, as time has progressed, he too has progressed lyrically. So even as he's still doing the same things, he's doing it much better. As my favorite bars off this project would be, call the Food Network because I can pitch them a cooking show. Like, that was pretty cool in the context of drugs. How he said, man, I already was famous. I was a star on the block. Or how he said the richest places in the world is in the cemetery. Well, that's just deep right there, where clearly there's a lot of super rich people who died, who was in the drug game and all of that stuff, man, because in this game, you either go to jail, you die, all of that stuff, you dig? And he's pretty much saying these people couldn't take that money with them to the afterlife. They just happen to be the richest tombstones and stuff that's out there. Overall, it's not a garbage project, man, because you have elements all throughout that's actually kind of decent. It's just, it's not amazing, especially following up an amazing project, so that ultimately hyped this up a little more than what it honestly should have been. All of the singles off of this that came out was disappointing, even though I didn't make reviews of them, like the song with Meek Mill and Rick Ross and all of this stuff. Them joints was rather bad. Overall, I'm gonna give this joint, man, a 4 out of 10. One that you should go ahead and check out because it is the hypest thing to come out for this week, but yet is not anything spectacular. I hope you enjoyed the show. You can follow me at Twitter up there, and you can go to downloadpads.com, that's down there, to read today's article.